Hey guys, it's Josh Pup here with my first ever video explaining how I made it from Iron to Masters. So, I started off with playing primarily Poro. Now, I would flex my legend into anything that was broken at a time or really strong. Now, if you do have a legend you enjoy playing and does fit your playstyle and complement your playstyle, then I would go ahead and play them. Legends are pretty balanced at this point, so I think anything's pretty good for the most part. As for comps, I would try to master 4 lines in particular, 1 AP, 1 AD, a reroll, and a 4-cost carry comp. That helped me flex around what comps I needed to play and also let me flex around the units on my board because I would know what units I could actually slot in if I could hit certain units, and I knew what units I could itemize depending on like what I was given throughout the game. Now, I also learned that economy is super important and does make or break your game. So to start off, you want to make 10 gold as soon as possible in this game. Making 10 gold really helps you get to 20, 30, and 40 so much faster. So if you're lose streaking, win streaking, you want to make it by a particular stage. If you're having a hard time doing either, you still want to make it the latest by 2.5. I put it up here on the screen for you guys in case you guys didn't know, and easy for you guys to reference. Don't hold units. I'm talking about 2 or 3 cost units that you aren't sure you want to play or don't have the opener for. Sometimes it's just better off playing like your regular 1 cost units than it is playing a 3 cost unit and still losing and not making economy. You know, you were better off selling that 3 cost unit, make the 10 gold, play a board that might still be weak because the board might still be weak with a 3 cost or 2 cost unit on it, and take that lose streak and accept it, or play your strongest board, which might be consisting of 2-star 1 cost units, and take your win streak and make economy off it. Learn the leveling intervals. For me, I didn't notice that you passively gain 2 experience every round, and when you level up, you exchange 4 gold for 4 experience. But when you level off interval, you're essentially wasting 2 gold because you're going to be off tempo, and because you're off tempo, you're investing more gold than you need to level up. And while investing more gold, that's going to also bite you in the butt because now you're putting more gold in here, you're losing more gold economy wise and interest wise as the game progresses. So I would just generally follow this standard leveling guide. Please note at 3.5 you could go for a fast 7, and at 4.5 you go for a fast 8. Those are risky. It also depends on your economy. If you have an economy augment, how much money you have at the time. The whole concept is to try to hit 3 cost units sooner or 4 cost units sooner than everybody else in the lobby and play around whatever you hit. Now, if you're not 1 cost rerolling, I want to say go for level 6 on 3-2 as soon as possible. It just gives you one of the best shop odds. It keeps you on tempo with the rest of the lobby. And next turn, if let's say you didn't do it and you forgot to level to 6 on 3-2, everyone else in the lobby has a chance to hit a 4 cost unit, even though the chance might be low, or hit any 2-3 cost unit pairs they want, while you're going to be behind tempo and going to need to level up that turn, and you're going to be short 1 shop in comparison. Don't 3-star unneeded units. So I'm talking about units that you're not looking to itemize or have as main tanks, or you're not really looking to keep long term, but you end up 3-starring them just to do it. It doesn't benefit you. So for example, we're on a level 8 board here. It does not benefit me to hold any of these Graves units on my bench because Graves is a 1 cost unit at the end of the day, and a 1 cost 3-star without any items is not going to spike my gunner board at level 8 better than a legendary at level 9. So ideally, I will sell any additional Graves I have on my bench because at level 9, a legendary will spike my board way better. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't hold important pairs. I'm not saying that you should sell upgraded units. But what I'm saying is you should be mindful of what units you are holding and mindful of like their role in your team comp and how they're going to benefit your comp and how they're going to benefit your win streak or save your HP or help you kill another unit or anything of that matter. So you should definitely consider thinking a little bit harder when it comes to holding certain pairs, and consider like soft rolling before you actually like look to push other intervals, because if you could soft roll and hit, for example, Vi pair on mid game 3-2, then your board would spike because Vi is like a tank, and having better frontline might be beneficial for your gunners as they're ramping up damage. So regions do affect how you play your economy and should affect how you play your economy, but just because they might give you more economy doesn't mean that it's always best to take the more money and economy opener and just kind of say goodbye to your upgrades. Sometimes these upgrades are far more important and powerful. So for example purposes, on Scotapotto, you have the option to open for or make 20 gold. But on Scotapotto, you also have the option to hit valuable upgrades and also have an option to hit a combat augment on 2-1 that could spike your board way, way, way better than taking like hedge fund with upgrades on 2-1. Because the person with a combat augment has these upgrades and a combat augment array, so they're very powerful. And the person with hedge fund as upgrades, they're missing the threshold to make hedge fund actually useful. And now because they're missing the threshold to make hedge fund useful, and they're trying to win streak as well, they also have to invest a little bit more in hitting other upgrades because they have to make up for the lack of a combat augment. So definitely have the option to make like money. You should definitely like look at your options and be like, hey, like I have a really powerful upgraded board here. I'm gonna go for a combat augment and I'm gonna streak and make streak gold. And streak gold is far more better. If you're especially able to have a 5-win streak, that's 5 bonus gold that you wouldn't get if you're lose streaking. Now, I particularly struggled with like certain item component openers. So gold openers, 1, 2, and 3 item component openers. So this is just to explain like what went in my head and my process for that. So any like gold opener with like 1 item component, I would just go ahead and lose streak. Without an item, you're not really gonna win in this game, and you're not gonna be able to tempo or play any like powerful board early. You're just gonna have to accept the lose streak and just take the benefit of having economy. Just look to roll on a little bit and stabilize on that board when you finally hit like the additional items you're looking for, because the game is eventually going to give it to you. You're going to be short for maybe a round, but the next PvE round, you're most likely to get those items back. If you have a 2 item component opener, go ahead and lose streak. Usually everyone has 2 items during this stage. During that initial carousel, they might have a 1 item slam, but after the next carousel, they'll have another component to complete another item. So those first 3 rounds, maybe you might win, but those next 2 rounds, you're most likely going to lose. Just accept the lose streak as well, and just, let yourself lose. That's not a big deal. That's okay. When you have a 3 item component opener, it all depends on how strong your board is, because again, you can win during the first 3 PvE rounds. Then come carousel, you're given an item component. You could slam another item here, making 2 items. You're on tempo lobby with 2 items. It all just comes down to how strong your units are and how strong your augments are and how strong you are to like tempo with your board. Otherwise, that's just kind of everything I learned during my climb for TFT. I hope this found you guys well and hopes this helps you guys out and in your climb. Otherwise, good luck and happy climbing.